Today, we're going to be talking about one of the most horrible, vile, disgusting places in the world. British schools. I'm British. Kind of. For the last 10 years, I've lived in England. And so I know that when people think of British schools as like Hogwarts or Harry Potter or some medieval castle up in the hillside, that is completely wrong. British schools are closer to a fucking hellhole than some magic world out in Harry Potter land. The only similarity I can think of is that it's like the dungeons in Harry Potter where they kept Dobby and Whitfield. This video is inspired by Junskully and his video on British schools, so if you fuck with this, go watch his video. But not before you finish this one, alright? Finish this one first and then go watch his. Now, when people think about British schools, one of the first things they instantly think of that is true is school uniforms. But school uniforms, I can confirm, are quite uncomfortable. It low-key does feel like a straitjacket. And some schools have something called tweed jackets, which is even worse. Just look at this. Just look at this. It looks like some sort of contraption out of sword that they would have made as a torture method. And it's true, British school uniforms are not very comfortable. The shoes were tight, the pants were tight. They always made you tuck your shirt in, which I'll get back to later. And the blazers were horrible. Plus, whenever you had to wear a tie and you wanted to undo the top button of your shirt just to make it more comfortable, suddenly the teachers would turn into some sort of gladiator and go Super Saiyan on your ass. They did not mess with me undoing my top button shirt, which is a pain because I'm a human that values comfort first. I don't care about your bullshit rules, okay? I'm making this a statement video. However, with that being said, it does take a lot of stress out of what you have to wear every day to school. I know in America that students love having the freedom to be able to express themselves through the clothes they wear. And yes, I would love that. And from the ages of 16 to 18, when you're in the UK, you do get that ability. I'll be real with you. If I'm not allowed to wear my Prime Hydration tank top to school, I'm gonna freak out. But I understand that putting everyone on a level playing field by making sure that they all have the same uniform can take a lot of stress out of a student's day-to-day life. However, with that being said, please fucking burn tweed jackets to the ground. I'm starting a revolution, man. Fuck the tweed jacket. Fuck the tweeds. Fuck the tweeds. And the strictness that my school upheld within our uniform was bonkers, honestly. If you had your shirt untucked for 0.2 seconds, you were getting that hammer fist to the face. If you had your top button untucked for 0.3 seconds, you were cooked. You straight up, you're cooked. Cooked, boiled, served, poached, fried. It doesn't matter. You were finished. But now, once you've got your uniform on and you're ready to go to school, the next thing that most people notice with British schools is the transport. Some schools have transport buses that take them from their house to school, especially if you live out in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. But me, I had to take public transport like most normal people. And public transport, similar to the most famous buses of America, is a bit strange, to be honest. You always had the quote-unquote cool kids at the back that were always either vaping or just screaming at the top of their lungs. And it honestly just wasn't fun for 99% of the journey. So it was cool kids at the back, normal kids in the middle, and losers at the front. Can you guess what I was? Also, don't get me started about delays if you miss your bus or train to school. This isn't so much with buses, but more trains in the UK. They are horrible. If you miss your train, you're gonna be like an hour late to your lesson. There's no two ways about it. And in some of my classes, my late attendance was so bad that I had to get my parents to call in to talk to the teacher and say it's not his fault. It's the public transport's fault that he's an hour late every single day. It wasn't always the public transport's fault. But once you finally rock up to your class an hour late, you're suddenly hit with all the different types of kids that are in your class. And let me tell you, in British schools, it's not the funnest thing, especially in public schools. In British schools, we have a lot of a type of person that is called a chav. A chav is a person that thinks they are cooler than they actually are, which they're not cool. They have a combined total of 3 GCSEs between 4 of them, and more STDs than you can count on both of your fingers. And they're loud. They're very loud and proud. It's like if you took an elementary school kid and just bumped him up like 7 grades. And yes, this type of person does exist. I know they're very famous and well known in American media and other sorts of countries. And yeah, it does exist. It's a real type of person. And it's fucking horrible. It's like the self-proclaimed popular girl in American high school. It's like, you know the exact type of person you're dealing with. And then there's their male counterpart, the roadman. 9 times out of 10, these guys will just stab you. In the UK, we also have a type of girl that is called a horse girl. If you ever meet a UK horse girl, run as far away as you can. They are literally a walking red flag. They're a girl that are obsessed with horses, like horse dick. Wait, no, not horse dick, just horses. But still, a very scary breed of student. But then you have nice people like the ICT nerds, the art kids, which low-key I used to be, and all sorts of different kinds. It's really not that different from American school. Speaking as someone that did 2 years in American school, I can say they're probably quite similar. The only thing is the buildings. The fucking buildings. UK schools are so old. When my dad went to UK school like 60, 50, 40 years ago, they probably were in the exact same building with the exact same facilities. They have never been updated or renovated, and you can tell. Our school got shut down for 3 weeks because of asbestos. Asbestos in a school, that should not be happening. It's kind of scary, to be honest, because there has been scandals after scandals in the UK of schools just not being well made, and sometimes like even bricks come flying out and falling on students. Never happened in my school, but hey, it can happen. There's always mold growing in the corner of a classroom and always some weird brown water stain that just makes you think, how did that get there? How much water has been leaking from the upstairs toilets for it to have literally gone all the way through the floor, and it's now in my classroom? And you can't talk about UK schools without UK teachers, specifically PE teachers. PE teachers have a bad reputation, a terrible reputation, especially at my school. 3 male PE teachers were fired for sexual conducts with minors, students, taking a page out of Drake's book, I guess, and it was always very weird. They were always making sexual gestures towards girls, telling them to pull up their skirts or telling them to loosen up, clearly referring to their clothes, and it was always so obvious as well. Like, bro, you ain't slick. And also, stop trying to steal my future wifey, okay? You're 35 with a wife and kids. Go back to your wife. Like, how do we live in a world where my competition at school is a 35-year-old PE teacher? That doesn't make sense. Anyway, if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.